we got the Ski-Doo, the 779 triple, or at least it was at one point. Big Rotax 779 triple engine that was transplanted into this S chassis here. One dude left a comment saying that we'd be way better off finding the original chassis for this engine. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Every good build video starts off with a trip to the hardware store. I've been saying it for years. I don't even know what we should work on here today yet. Should we work on some clutching? Should we screw around with the engine a little bit? Should we try our luck at a little bit of aluminum polishing on the tunnel? Honestly, the chassis is going to be more work than anything. What with all the custom work and whatnot. Scratch that for now, though. Something I want is on sale. Just had the ladies lift this onto the back of the truck for me. Alright, let's go home. Spent enough money the last few days making videos. I really did not realize how bad this box was getting until I had it completely off of the truck. This thing is rotten. Okay, before we get started up on the triple there, we get to do errands today. In the back of my truck here, finally we're taking the box in to metal recycling. I will do a full video on the truck here when everything is all done, but everything's not all done. I still need to put the skirt on the deck. There's still like a few other things. Obviously I got the winch and stuff all installed, and that's how I got this thing up. I winched this thing onto the deck. Time to just get it out of the yard. Time to actually have a proper truck. I am gonna do a full video on the truck when it's all done, but until it's all done, you're just gonna have to wait. So long, Reggie. 54 bucks. Man, you scrap metal guys, you guys gotta be hustling. Especially when I'm dropping off truck boxes that are mostly just held together with bed liner. Well, I'm just a mechanic and I don't know a lot about batteries, but I don't know if that's supposed to be that way. There. No more lifting for this guy. Don't mind the golf cart here in the background. This just belongs to one of my customers. I can already tell that the subject matter of today's video is going to get way out of hand. But here's our Ski-Doo triple. Here's our project sled for now. There's more Ski-Doo triple stuff, and then there's a bunch of it spread out over there too. Over here, here's our engine and our clutches and stuff. I was just screwing around, just doing a little bit of polishing, nothing too serious, just screwing around. I've never really done much for polishing, so that's just me screwing around mainly. My plan was that we were going to work on the skid today, and you know what? Every time I look at this thing, I find like new stuff wrong with it, like right here, right where this upper shock mount sits on the front arm. I'm pretty sure that has no axle in the bushing there. So, yeah, just finding new stuff. Don't need no axle in there. You just throw the bolt in the rubber and she's good. And then this front axle too, I'm pretty sure is going to be like mushroom capped in there. So that'll be probably a bunch of swearing and stuff for me that I just don't feel like doing today. We haven't worked on anything yet. So we got exhaust, controls, coolant, suspension, driveline stuff. But I think here's what I'm feeling like working on today. We cleaned these up when we got the unit. And boy, I can't tell you how many times I've been into carburetors. Hundreds, thousands maybe. I do want to replace a couple of things in here, but mainly we're just going to be cleaning them up. These little snap-on pliers are the best if you're doing carburetors. In fact, it's like the only thing that I use these for. So if you ever have like a carburetor here with a stuck screw and you don't want to strip off the head, is grab these little claw pliers, wrap it around, and it just breaks it off every time. Well, that's all looking pretty good. Except for the mismatched hardware. Carbs are torn down. Well, at least one barrel is torn down, as far as I'm going to tear it down. We got the interior parts out here on the bench where we can go over them. If you don't know what's in a carb, we can go over all of the parts here. Got lots of parts out here and even more to come. So this is the bowl of the carb. We were in there, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. There's a little bit of debris in there. These are all the screws that just hold the bowl on. This one has mismatched woodworking screw hardware, super fun. Favorite. The rubber bowl gasket on there. Over here we have a cap off on this fuel line. I think on one of these other carbs it's pretty damaged because we did have that fire. Yeah, this one I did kind of like a temporary fix on, but I want to get that permanently fixed. So we'll have to get a lot of these little rubber pieces replaced. Including on the bowl. So everything there, the bowl gaskets. Then these two little things, they're just for vent lines. Over here we have the float. That's what that is. This is the rod that goes through there. And then controlling that, this is our fuel needle. That's what controls fuel coming in and out of the carb. It sits in this seat. You can see a bunch of stuff on there because there is a little filter in there. And then that little screw holds all that in. We have a main jet as well as a pilot jet for starting. This is the slide cap and then the two screws that keep them on. And that is just a jet holder. So all those kind of go together. So this is our air fuel screw. So you may notice I have it written down how tight it was. It's important to know how tight these are before you take them out. So when you put them back in and clean them, you don't throw them out of adjustment. So those ones sit right here on the side of the carb. And you can see it over here. I haven't taken that one out. And anytime you're taking those out to clean them, replace them, it's a little weird. This one's at half a turn. Usually they're at like 1.5 to 3. But making note of that, so when you go to reassemble, then we know exactly our start point in case we need to adjust anything. Then in the carb itself, on the top end of it, we have the slide and the cam and the control for all that. I'm not going to take the slide or any of that stuff out today, but if you wanted to romp on her, you could romp on her. And then this is the bottom. This is upside down. This is where the bowl of the carb would go. So I have to do what I did here, take all that apart. I have to get all the plastic out. I got to do that 2 more times. And then after we're done that, we can throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner and start up on the cleaning process. So the carbs here are actually looking pretty good. There are like a couple of these, where are they? Yeah, like these tiny little rubber plastic caps that got all melted up in the fire. So besides that, it mostly just looks like a whole lot of cleaning. As long as I don't got to replace any of those needle valves, should be good to just throw this in the parts polisher, the cleaner. Let's get this thing all cleaned up. I'm actually really realizing that on this thing, I'm really starting to get to the point that I probably need to not do so many videos on it, at least for like the next couple of weeks. And what I really need to do is just spend some time with this thing. And really spend some time with my polishing, spend some time with the cleaning, spend some time ordering parts, figuring out what I really need to order. Instead of cranking out 2 videos a week on this thing. I'm kind of at the point where I need to slow down and spend some time with it and really figure things out. I know you're supposed to like use a brush on these wheels and stuff. So I made a brush. I got all 3 cleaned up here now. I'm not done, but they're starting to look pretty spectacular. But this one I'm going to have a little bit harder of a time cutting. So, to help us out with that, here's what we're going to do. Going to go right. Well, I've just done a little bit of cutting and polishing here. This bowl is completely untouched. That's how it came out of the unit. This bowl I did a little bit of cutting on, shined it up. And then this one, did a little bit more on. Still some more work to do, but that's what I want to get this whole unit to. Something like that. And that's how I saved Christmas the third time. Let's see what it looks like here after spending a little bit of time in the cleaner. That's looking good. It really cleaned up a lot of those little orifices and those tight to reach spots. This side hasn't been submerged yet. This side has. So this brassy looking stuff is nice and clean now, as opposed to that. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but all these little annoying little tiny spots, these little orifices that are all full of gunk, are all clean. Oh man, look how gross this water is now. I left something else in here. Oh, here's where you can really see it. Look at the inside of that bowl. That is shiny clean. This one here went through the Sonic cleaner. Wow, that really brightened up the metal big time. Besides needing to polish it up again. Like, this one's got a little bit of stuff we gotta polish out, but it just looks so insanely clean compared to that other one. Alright, well, back in you go. Just gonna be that poor middle one that doesn't really get it. You guys better get in there too. Yeah. It can be a party. Everybody's invited. Well, if it didn't make the cut already, I am at a point where everything on this machine is all torn down. And now I'm at a point where I need to start thinking about putting stuff back together and finding some new parts too. So we got to go to the wrecker. We got to find some of the parts, which is a big part of the fun, actually. And then a lot of it is going to be really labor intensive. Like, have you seen how bad the tunnel was? I've shown it in a few videos. It's pretty bad. This is the friggin' tunnel that somebody went cowboy on. Definitely seems like this bulkhead here was bolted on to this tunnel later on. That's not really what I'm worried about though there. My big worry is actually the tunnel, because it looks like somebody went to town with the old wire brush. And these scratches are so freaking deep. And so, like, just swirled in there. Like, this pitting is unreal. It looks like they tried to do this side first. And then maybe they stopped themselves before they got around to this side. Which still looks like relatively like factory. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, these are so deep. So, anyway, that's the kind of stuff that I just need a little more time to just kind of figure out. Since I've already started on the fuel system, I think I'm just going to keep carrying on the fuel system and get it done. That way I'm not working on multiple assemblies at a time. And then once I feel like I've gotten enough parts gathered or enough stuff done, I will do another video. Once it feels like I actually have something accomplished, then I'll come back and we'll carry on with the video. Kat did do this a few days ago, and no one seems to be talking about the fact that there's now dual rail options. I've been pretty quiet about it, but that HCX is pretty neat. Actually, when I saw these pictures pop up, I recognized them right away. This is the template that Arctic Cat uses for training their dealers, whether it's mechanics or salespeople, for new units or different sales practices. So what this seems to me to be is like a controlled leak of Arctic Cat stuff, which is pretty cool. I think it's actually a pretty smart way to do it, build up some hype. As of me filming and editing this video, there is no information on the Cat website, and Cat actually themselves doesn't have an official release of this stuff. In fact, all the Arctic Cat website domain still gets redirected to all the Textron stuff. So it does look like the 2026s are happening, which is kind of what I heard all last year, was whisperings and rumors about either a full production or a limited production run, and it looks like that's what we're going to get. Hey, Arctic Cat, what's going on there? Dixon.com, hats, hoodies, more. Shipping to Canada now. Top comments a Discord link.